Thomas Jefferson once said, "I'm a great believer in luck. The harder I work, the more of it I seem to have." And that's going to be something that is very relative to interviewing, which is our next topic. I want to talk to you a little bit about interviewing. We own a staffing company in Tulsa. We've worked in staffing in Tulsa for a number of years, and so we really have interviewed a lot of people and know the ins and outs. We've seen people interview really well. We've seen people interview very poorly. So I want to share a few of the main points, or three main points actually, that will help anyone to get a little bit better at interviewing. And so I think this will be great for you. Here we go. If you know the company that you're going to be interviewing with, which you should, do some research on them. I found that almost no one does. And the best people do. And it's so easy to see in the interview when they come in whether or not they know who they're meeting with and what it is that they're doing. And so I really want to recommend to people out there to research the company. So how do you do that? Well, we do live in 2015, and most people do know how to get online. It's probably in your pocket on your phone. Go online and research them. See what it is they do. See what it is that they specialize in. See if it's something that's a good thing for you. See if there are some specific things in your background that you could add to them. Be able to talk competently with somebody by knowing who it is that you're meeting with. It's really, really important. So you can go online, research them. Some of the larger companies, some of you might be going out there and interviewing at, like an Inc. 500, an Inc. 100, like a really top company. And with those type of companies, they're probably public. There's probably some real good information out there on, if you were to go into Yahoo Finance or go into some of these stock evaluation websites. If they have a stock and if they have an IPO and they're a public company, well, there's a lot of information out there. And in that case, you can really read some great information on a company. So I really recommend that you go on and read about this. Know about what it is that company's gone through in the last little bit. You might be able to provide some solutions in your interview on how you can fix some of the problems that they've had. And so it'll give you a unique insight. It'll make you stand out for sure. And that's really the big thing, is you want to make sure and look better than the person that's interviewing after you, because you know good and well somebody's going to be interviewing after you. Make sure you put your best foot forward and make sure you know who it is that you're meeting with and what it is that they do, what they do well, and how you can contribute. The second thing is to know your resume. That might seem pretty like an expected thing. Like, yeah, you should know how to do that, but I got to be honest with you, most people don't. And when you go through the resume with them, you kind of get surprised sometimes. I had an interview just yesterday actually, and I don't interview very much, hardly anymore, but this was for a position for us, and so I was interviewing with it, and I started asking the individual about what it is that they did. What was funny is they had their resume all wrong, and I'm the one that caught it because I was going through all the details of their resume. We caught something wrong. They had no idea what was on their resume, and they had their dates wrong. They had them all mixed up. They forgot which position they had done before. It was just a hot mess. Well, I don't think that person was necessarily that bad, but they definitely weren't prepared. And it said a whole lot to me, and it made me think, if that's how they're going to prepare for their interview with me, how would it be that they would prepare for our job? And so they didn't get the job, and I won't hire them. And that's a big reason for it, is because they had no idea what they were there to present. They didn't prepare. And I need somebody that's going to prepare. And most likely the employer that you or anyone out there that's looking for a job People are going to be looking for you to be prepared. They're going to be looking and making sure that you know what you're doing and that you know your resume. But the next thing is your resume should communicate what it is that you do well. Well, not only should, I just don't want people to rely on their resume to do all the talking for them. Be able to competently discuss the things that are on your resume. So I would really recommend to people to at least go over your resume at least 10, 15 times and know what that thing says. And be able to, in an outline form, be able to talk about what it is that they know how to do, and be able to do it in a confident way so they're they're convincing somebody that they're good at what they do. Interviewers are really good, especially those at the top companies where most likely you want to work. The better the company, the better the interviewer is going to be, and they should not miss things. And if they're going to go through your resume, you don't want to look silly. If you want to aim for the moon and get the best job that you can out there, make sure that you know your resume so that you can confidently explain what it is that you know how to do and wow somebody rather than disappoint them. Body language is the third main thing that I think is important. There might be a big difference if you saw me kind of sitting like this and talking to you like this, and talking to you like this. There's a big difference when I talk to you like this and when I sit up in a confident way, look at you, and talk to you confidently. Did you see the difference there that you saw there? There's a big difference in the way that you present yourself. When you lean up to the front part of your chair, you are telling the other person that you are engaging them. When you make eye contact with them in our society, that means that you care and that you're interested. People who cannot maintain eye contact with other individuals, it makes them nervous because they're like, that is somebody that is not very confident. And so you have to be able to do this. There are some people that have trouble maintaining eye contact and being able to present themselves very well. And if that's the case with you, there are several people that are going to struggle with this. This is something that you're going to really need to practice. And so I really recommend that you go and practice this at home and make sure that you are presenting the right thing. I want to tell you a little bit of a story. It's kind of funny, but it really hurts an individual. And it was somebody that we were really seeking after. They had a lot of great experience that they came to the table with, and really it's really just difficult for us to find it. And so it was really disappointing to see this because we needed this person and we really wanted them to do well, but they just did terrible. So I'm going to kind of explain it to you so you don't do the same thing. I don't know why they did, but they brought in a coffee cup and they were drinking their coffee. And they were just sitting down and back in a relaxed, and they gave off the impression that I just don't care. And the whole time they would be drinking their coffee. And I know that this, for most of you, this is something that are like, man, of course I wouldn't do that. But I really think there's somebody watching this possibly over time, and they're like, yeah, I do that. You know? You just don't want to go in such a relaxed atmosphere where you present yourself as being lazy. And I understand you want to protrude and give a certain type of a feel for people, but a relaxed feel is probably not one that you want to give your interviewer, for the same reason that you don't want me presenting this to you in a way where I'm sitting back and I look like I could just give a rip. And in today's society, and I honestly think it's America right now, it's the way that Americans work, this to some people seems like the way that things should go and the way that you should be. And I'm just telling you that if you want to do well for yourself, if you want to see yourself succeed, to see yourself grow, being relaxed and not paying attention to your body language and how you protrude yourself to others or portray yourself to others is going to be a big deal to you. So it's going to be a big deal in whether or not you succeed or not. And so people's perceptions are reality about you, and you never should forget that, is because you always hear this, you have one chance to make, you only get one chance to make a great impression. You don't get two. And that's the case with an interview. And I don't want anyone watching this to think that they can just really just coast on an interview. You really need to put some effort into it. Make sure you put your body language into it, and make sure you let the person know that you care, that you're good, that you're proactive, and that you're not lazy. It's so important that you do that. These 3 things I think will help you when you're going and interviewing. And there are many other things. Please go and read about it. Make sure that you're well versed in interviewing, and you're going to do great.